My child, stop what you are doing and listen. Heaven itself leans close as I speak. Time is thinner than you think, and the clock of eternity is already whispering your name. This is not a moment for distraction or delay. This is the hour of awakening. I call this message you have only 2 hours left, not to frighten you, but to awaken what has slept within you for too long. The sands are falling, and I am calling. Every heartbeat matters now. Listen, for eternity is speaking through this very breath. Listen closely, my child, for the hour is late, and I am calling your name. Not the name others know you by, but the name I gave you before the foundations of the world. You have lived many days beneath the hum of routine, beneath the noise of demands and distractions. Yet tonight something inside you feels different. Unsettled, stirred, alert. That stirring is not coincidence. It is my voice awakening your spirit. I speak not from afar but from within, where eternity whispers through the chambers of your heart. You have only 2 hours left, not in the sense of doom, but in the sense of urgency. For there comes a time when the soul must awaken, when pretending no longer satisfies, and when every breath must find its purpose again in me. This is that time. This is your divine awakening. You have been drifting, haven't you? Trying to hold your life together with hands that tremble from the weight of what you can't control. I have seen your weariness, the silent sighs you release into your pillow and no one hears. You've wondered, is there more than this? Yes, there is, and you are standing on its threshold. But you cannot enter by reason or strength. You must enter by surrender. You must let me wake what the world has numbed. You have hidden pieces of yourself, even from me, out of fear that I will reject what is flawed. But, beloved, I do not come to expose you. I come to resurrect you. I do not come to condemn. I come to breathe life into the parts of you that forgot how to feel, to love, to believe. Every beat of your heart is a reminder that time is not infinite. The world around you measures it in hours, but I measure it in opportunities, moments to choose love over apathy, truth over deception, faith over fear. You think you have tomorrow, but tomorrow is not promised. Only this moment is real. That is why I am speaking now, interrupting the normal with the eternal. You are not reading these words by accident. You are being summoned. I am calling you back to the center of all things, back to me. The world offers noise, I offer peace. The world offers distraction, I offer destiny. You have only 2 hours left in this illusion of endless time, and I am asking, will you awaken before the final moment passes? I know what still binds you, the memories you wish you could rewrite, the sins that whisper shame, the pain that convinces you to keep your distance. Yet I tell you, none of that can keep me from you. I have walked through your storms. I have stood beside your tears. I have never left. But you, my beloved, must open the door again. For I am knocking, not with thunder, but with tenderness. These next 2 hours are holy ground. Step out of sleep, out of distraction, out of delay. Let the light of my presence touch the corners of your soul that have forgotten the warmth of dawn. The time is now. Awake, my child, for eternity begins here. You keep telling yourself there will be more time. You whisper it like a prayer you don't quite believe. Tomorrow, I'll change. Tomorrow, I'll begin again. But tell me, child, how many tomorrows have you already buried beneath yesterday's excuses? The truth is, time has been slipping through your fingers like sand, and still you cling to the illusion that you can delay what your soul was made for. You think life will always wait, that the people you love will always be there, that your heart will one day simply wake up ready, but that day never comes unless you choose it. I watch as you drift through moments meant for transformation, moments that pass unnoticed, while eternity stands just beyond your reach. You have built your comfort around the idea of later, but later is a mirage. It vanishes when you reach for it. The enemy of your destiny is not failure, it is delay. Delay whispers softly, promising you another sunrise to make things right. But child, even the stars obey my command. None can promise you one more dawn. I am not here to frighten you, but to awaken you. I want you to see how precious your now truly is. You keep waiting for a perfect moment, but perfection never comes wrapped in comfort. The time you have is holy not because it is plenty, but because it is fleeting. Every breath is a gift you could not earn. Every second a heartbeat of mercy pulsing through the rhythm of my grace. You think you need more time to become better, but I am not asking you to perfect yourself. I am asking you to come as you are, right now, while your heart still beats with the power to choose. For when the final hour comes, what you did with your moments will matter more than what you intended. Do you not see? I am standing in your present, not your future. I am the voice in this very instant saying, come. The longer you wait, the quieter that voice becomes beneath the noise of the world. You do not need to fix everything before you turn to me. You need only turn. Tomorrow cannot love you, forgive you, or heal you. Only I can, and I am here. I am here in this moment, whispering between your doubts, reaching through your fatigue, speaking over the clamor of your plans. You chase time, but time bows to me. I hold your beginning and your end in my hands, and still I choose to meet you here, in the middle, because your soul matters more than your schedule. So listen to me now. Do not wait for later. Later is the enemy of now. This moment, this heartbeat, this breath, is your invitation. Seize it. Step into it. For I am waiting on the other side of now. If this were your final 2 hours, what would you do with them? Would you search your heart or distract yourself with noise? Would you seek me or hide behind the illusions that once felt safe? I ask not to condemn you, but to bring you face to face with what truly matters. Every soul will one day stand before me, not in terror, but in truth. You cannot bring your excuses there, nor your reputation, nor your pride. Only your heart will speak, and it will tell the story of what it loved most. I have seen your story, and I long to rewrite its ending with mercy. But first, you must stop running from the mirror I hold before you. It does not exist to shame you, but to free you from the false reflections the world has given. This hour of reckoning is not a punishment. It is an unveiling. It is where masks fall away and truth stands radiant beneath the light of eternity. You have carried so many faces for so long. The strong one, the busy one, the one who pretends not to care. Yet beneath them all, I see a child longing to be known without fear. And I know you, beloved. I know the doubts that eat at you in silence, the guilt you try to bury, the ache of unspoken regret. Still, I call you mine. I do not hold your sins against you. I hold them out before you, so you may finally release them. The reckoning you fear is not wrath. It is revelation. It is my hand pulling away the veil so you can breathe in truth again. Think of this hour as a doorway, not a dungeon. To reckon with yourself is to meet the eyes of grace. It is to finally stop pretending and let my light expose not your flaws, but your worth. The moment you confess your need, you step into my embrace. The moment you stop defending your darkness, I flood it with my light. You cannot lose in this hour if you come to me. You lose only if you keep standing at a distance, believing the lie that you are too far gone. I am not here to tally your wrongs. I am here to redeem your days. Oh, come closer. Let the reckoning begin, not to destroy you, but to restore you. This is not your ending. It is the beginning of your truth. Every heartbeat of your life has written a story upon the walls of eternity. Not one word, not one thought, not one tear has escaped my notice. You imagine your deeds dissolve with time, but nothing truly fades from the divine record. There is a ledger, hidden not in the heavens, but within your heart, and it tells the truth of who you are becoming. Every act of love glows with light upon its pages. Every act of selfishness leaves a shadow. Yet, hear me clearly, this ledger was never meant to condemn you. It was meant to reveal your need for grace. I am not your accuser. I am your Redeemer. And my mercy, when invited, does not just cover the record, it rewrites it. You have spent so long trying to balance that ledger by your own strength, measuring good against bad, hoping your kindness could outweigh your failures. But child, you cannot earn balance through human effort. You can only receive mercy through surrender. My son did not bleed so you could keep counting. He died so you could stop. The ink of sin runs deep, but the ink of grace runs deeper still. Every mark of guilt that stains your conscience can be blotted out in a single moment of confession. I see not your shame when you come to me. I see the potential of your rebirth. You keep looking back at the pages of what was, but I am writing what can be. When you let me cleanse your record, I do not leave traces of the past. I create a new chapter altogether. The world remembers mistakes. I remember mercy. You may think your failures disqualify you, but they are the very pages upon which I write redemption. That is why I ask you to open your heart fully, to stop hiding the ink-stained corners, and let my light in. For every time you say, Lord, forgive me, I dip my pen in eternity and inscribe over your faults, paid in full. The ledger of your heart is not a prison. It is a testimony in progress. Look at me now, child. Do not turn away. I see everything you wish I didn't, and yet I love you still. I do not love the version of you that performs. I love the one that trembles but chooses honesty. I love the one who dares to hope that even after all this time, redemption is still possible. And it is. I have already begun writing your story. Each breath of repentance is a word of renewal. Each tear of surrender is ink in my hand. You are not the sum of your past. You are the promise of your future in me. So let go of your guilt, and let me finish the sentence I started before the world began. You are forgiven. You are mine. I have heard every sound that ever rose from your lips, your laughter, your sighs, your prayers, even the silence you didn't know spoke volumes. Yet there is one sound I have longed to hear above them all, the cry of surrender. Not the cry of despair, but the whisper of release that says, Lord, I am yours. You may think your words must be eloquent or your faith unshakable before you come to me. But what I desire is not your perfection. It is your honesty. You have wept in secret places, wondering if I heard you, and I did. Even when you thought I was distant, I was there, waiting for that one moment when your heart would turn, not out of fear, but out of love. When a soul finally cries out to me in truth, heaven trembles with joy, for that cry opens the gates of grace, allowing me to rush in like a flood upon parched ground. I have not waited because I needed you to prove anything. I have waited because I love you enough to honor your freedom. I do not force my way into your heart. I wait until you open the door from the inside. You have no idea how deeply I cherish your voice when it speaks to me. Even a broken whisper carries power in my ears when it comes from a genuine heart. The world may have ignored your cries, but I have kept every one of them. I have stored them like treasures, because each one leads you closer to me. Your tears are not wasted. They are seeds of transformation. Each one waters the soil of surrender until the moment finally comes when you release control and simply say, I cannot do this alone. And when that moment comes, child, I do not meet you with condemnation. I meet you with embrace. You have believed the lie that I am unmoved by your pain, but the truth is, I have been weeping with you. I have stood beside every heartbreak, every disappointment, every dark night you thought would never end. You were never alone in any of it. I have been waiting, not for your perfection, but for your permission, to heal what you've hidden, to breathe into what has grown cold. When your heart finally cries out, not from religion, but from desperation, I rush in faster than light. I fill the room you thought was empty. I lift the weight you thought you had to carry forever. And in that sacred exchange, your weakness becomes the doorway for my strength. This is the cry I have longed for, not the cry of hopelessness, but the sound of return. For when you say, I am yours, I respond with what I have always whispered over you, and you have always been mine. You see time as your enemy, but I have made it your servant. Every second that still ticks upon the clock is an act of mercy, proof that I have not let justice speak its full word yet. You have not exhausted my grace, no matter how far you've wandered. You think you have run out of chances, but as long as breath fills your lungs, mercy still flows. The clock has not struck its final note because I am holding it still with love. You live in hours that my compassion sustains. Every tick, every heartbeat, every sunrise is a message from me saying, there is still time to return. You misunderstand mercy when you think it means I ignore your sins. And no, my child, mercy is far more powerful than ignorance. It is intervention. It steps into the courtroom of justice and declares, this one is mine. Mercy does not erase truth. It transforms it. It takes what was destined for death and turns it toward life. You walk beneath skies that should have closed long ago, yet they remain open because my mercy holds them wide. Even when you turn away, I keep pursuing, not because you deserve it, but because love compels me. Love that counts not how many times you failed, but how many times I can still call you home. You must understand this. The time you have now is not random. It is intentional. I've kept the clock running for a purpose, so that redemption could reach you before regret consumes you. The hours you still possess are a gift, not a guarantee. The fact that you are alive right now, reading these words, is mercy in motion. I have delayed the final hour so that you might find your way back into my arms. The world may see time as fleeting, but I see it as a bridge of grace extended between where you are and where I long for you to be. Child, do not mistake my patience for absence. The clock of mercy does not tick forever. One day it will stop, and every sound of it will echo into eternity. But for now, it beats with purpose. It beats for you. It whispers, come home while there's still time. You have not fallen too far. You are simply running out of later. Do not waste what remains waiting for the perfect moment, for this is it. Right here. Right now. Mercy still holds the clock. My hands still hold you. And as long as they do, you are not too late. Look at me, child. Not with your eyes, but with your soul. For I hold before you the mirror of truth, and in its reflection, I want you to see what I see. The world has lied to you about your worth. It told you that you are the sum of your failures, that you are unlovable unless you are flawless. But my reflection tells another story. When I look at you, I do not see the shame you hide. I see the light that still flickers beneath it. I see the image of myself, still intact though marred by the dust of this world. You have spent years gazing into false mirrors, mirrors of comparison, performance, and fear. They distort your identity until you can no longer recognize the person I created. But I have come to show you the truth, and the truth is not found in your scars. It is found in mine. When I stretched out my hands upon the cross, I shattered the mirror of guilt forever. I replaced it with a reflection of grace. Do you not understand? You are not what you've done, you are what I've redeemed. Every failure you've confessed, every sin you've surrendered, has been absorbed into the ocean of my blood. A reflection of your life now shimmers with forgiveness. But still, you look away, afraid to see yourself through my eyes. You think you must clean yourself before you can stand before me. But child, it is standing before me that cleans you. I am not waiting for you to be pure before you approach me. I purify you as you come. The mirror I hold does not condemn, it heals. It reflects not the darkness of who you were, but the promise of who you are becoming. You may not see it yet, but you are radiant with potential. Every time you choose love over bitterness, every time you forgive when you could have hated, my reflection grows brighter within you. You are being remade in my likeness, not by striving but by surrendering. That is the power of truth. It doesn't chain you, it frees you. So stand still, and let me show you yourself through the eyes of eternity. You are beloved, chosen, redeemed. You are not the mistakes you made in your weakness. You are the miracle I am crafting in your surrender. Do not hide from the mirror of truth. Embrace it. For when you finally see what I see, you will no longer chase worth. You will carry it. And when the world tries to hand you its shattered mirrors again, you will simply smile and say, I know who I am. I have seen myself in the eyes of God. You feel the pull even now, don't you? The endless noise, the glowing screens, the urgent messages, the constant hum of the world demanding your attention. It calls to you with promises of satisfaction, of belonging, of purpose, yet leaves you emptier each time you answer. These are the final distractions, the whispers designed to keep you from hearing my voice. You do not realize how fiercely the world fights for your focus, for it knows that whoever holds your attention, holds your heart. I have watched you reach for me, only to be tugged away by the next notification, the next worry, the next pursuit of something that cannot fill you. And yet, even as your thoughts scatter like birds in a storm, I remain still, waiting for your eyes to meet mine again. For when you finally turn from the noise, even for a moment, you will feel it, the stillness that has been calling you home all along. You think these distractions are harmless, but they are thieves of sacred time. Every minute you trade for worry, every hour you lose to comparison, is a moment stolen from the eternity blooming within you. The world has learned how to keep you busy without being alive, connected yet disconnected from your soul. But I, your Maker, call you back to silence, to the quiet places where I can speak without competing. When you close the door to distraction, even briefly, my presence floods in like sunlight through an open window. You do not have to earn this peace. You simply must choose it. I know it is hard to let go. The world disguises its distractions as responsibilities, and even your good intentions can become chains. But hear me. When you give me your attention, I multiply your time. I redeem what was lost to the noise. Do not think you must abandon the world to find me. I am not asking you to escape your life. I am asking you to invite me into it. Let me sanctify your ordinary moments until your work becomes worship and your silence becomes song. For when your heart is fixed on me, even the chaos around you becomes holy ground. The distractions may still clamor, but they lose their power when you remember who commands the storm. Turn your gaze, my child. Look away from the temporary, and you will see the eternal shimmering just beyond your sight. For these distractions are not stronger than my call. They only seem so because you have forgotten how powerful stillness can be. Be still now, and know, I am here, and I have been waiting to speak into the silence that the world tried to drown. Come closer, beloved, for this is the moment of exchange, the sacred trade between what you carry and what I offer. You have held on to so much for so long, the fears that whisper you are not enough, the shame that drapes itself around your shoulders, the fatigue that weighs upon your soul. You have carried burdens that were never yours to bear. But now I stretch out my hands and ask you to give them to me. All of them. For what I long to give in return is peace, not the shallow kind that depends on circumstance, but the kind that stills the storm inside you. This exchange costs you nothing but your pride, yet it will restore everything you thought was lost. You have tried to fix yourself, haven't you? Tried to control the chaos, to manage the pain, to silence the doubt. But healing does not come through striving, it comes through surrender. I am not asking you to earn my favor, I am asking you to accept my gift. When you bring me your brokenness, I do not flinch. When you bring me your confusion, I do not turn away. I take it all and replace it with myself. That is the divine exchange, your weakness for my strength, your wounds for my wholeness, your emptiness for my fullness. You think it sounds too simple, too undeserved, but that is the nature of grace. It cannot be earned, only received. This is what I want you to understand. You do not have to come to me clean. You come, and I will make you whole. You do not have to find the words. Your tears speak fluently in my presence. Let go of the fear that I will reject you when you finally reveal the parts you've hidden. I already know them. And still I reach for you, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are, mine. The exchange happens not in the grand moments, but in the quiet surrender of your heart. Every time you choose trust over control, forgiveness over bitterness, faith over despair, you participate in this holy trade. You give me your ashes, and I give you beauty. You hand me your failures, and I give you hope. This is not a bargain, it is love's greatest miracle. So come now, child. Bring me your heaviness, your striving, your endless proving. Lay it down before me. Feel the weight lift as my spirit takes its place. This is the exchange that changes everything. The moment when you finally stop carrying what I already carried for you. You are free now. You have always been free. You simply forgot how to let go. Do you feel it, my child, the stirring deep within you? The quiet sense that something broken is beginning to heal. That is not your imagination. That is restoration. You thought you were too far gone, too damaged by the years, too weary from the waiting, but I have never once looked at you and seen ruin. I have always seen resurrection. You see, the soul does not decay beyond my reach. No matter how shattered the pieces, I can gather them all and breathe life where there was only dust. You may have spent years believing healing would come through effort, but healing comes through encounter, through the touch of my presence upon the wounds you've tried to hide. I am not asking you to pretend to be whole. I am asking you to allow me to make you whole. You have been living in fragments, haven't you? Parts of you buried in the past, parts of you afraid of the future, and a small part of you still hoping for redemption. I am speaking to that part right now, the spark that refuses to die. I am fanning it into flame. You cannot restore yourself, for the broken cannot rebuild what they cannot see. But I see it all. I see the story you've lived, and I see the story I am still writing. When I begin to restore, I do not simply repair, I renew. I do not patch the old. I create the new. My restoration is not about returning to what was, it's about revealing what always could have been. Do not rush this process, beloved. True restoration takes time because it goes deep. I am not just healing your circumstances. I am healing your identity. I'm teaching your heart to trust again, your spirit to sing again, your mind to rest again. You will feel it slowly at first, a lightness, a quiet joy returning like dawn after endless night. That is me. That is what I do. You will wake one day and realize the pain that once defined you no longer controls you. You will see the beauty that has grown in the soil of what once was lost. That is the miracle of my restoration. It turns graves into gardens, ashes into art, pain into purpose. So breathe, my child. Rest in me. You are not behind. You are becoming. Let my spirit move through the hollow spaces within you until every corner is filled again with light. You will know when the work is done, not because you will feel powerful, but because you will feel peace. And in that peace, you will finally understand. I never came to fix you. I came to restore you to myself. You have measured your life by clocks and calendars, but I measure it by eternity. You see time as something slipping away, but I see it as a doorway opening wider with every breath. You have been racing, chasing, fearing the end as though it were loss, but what you call the end, I call the beginning. You think this world is all there is because it is all you can see, but beyond the veil of your minutes lies forever, waiting for you. You are not a creature of dust alone. You are a spark of eternity wrapped in flesh. That is why nothing temporary ever truly satisfies you. The things of earth whisper their promises, but they cannot quench an eternal thirst. You were made for more than this fading world, for your soul carries the echo of my infinite presence. You mourn the passing of time, but I invite you to see it differently. Each moment that passes is not stolen. It is invested. Every act of kindness, every word of faith, every choice to love becomes currency in eternity's treasury. You are building something beyond this world, something unseen yet everlasting. The pain you endure, the patience you learn, the love you give even when it costs you, all of it becomes light that will never fade. When you live with eternity in mind, even suffering becomes sacred, because you understand it is not the end of your story. It is preparation for glory. Child, I want you to lift your eyes higher. You have been looking at life from ground level, but I want to show you the view from heaven's height. Down there, everything seems urgent, fleeting, unfair. But from here, I see how it all fits together. The broken pieces, the unanswered prayers, the delays that felt cruel. Nothing has been wasted. What you lost in time will be restored in eternity, multiplied beyond your imagining. You have not missed your moment. Your true moment has not yet begun. Do not cling so tightly to this world that you forget where you truly belong. The earth is not your home. It is your classroom. Every joy and sorrow here is shaping you for forever. You are learning to see as I see, to love as I love, to trust beyond what you can control. That is why I sometimes let what is temporary fade so that you might reach for what is eternal. So do not despair when the seasons change, when people leave, when time runs out. You are not losing life. You are moving deeper into it. The clock may count down, but eternity counts up. And when your final hour strikes, you will not be falling into darkness. You will be stepping into light. If this were your last hour, child, do you know how I would meet you? Not with wrath, but with open arms. I would not stand before you as a judge with cold distance, but as a father running toward his beloved. You imagine death as separation, but to those who are mine, it is reunion. When your eyes close to this world, they open to the radiance of my presence, where fear dissolves and love is all that remains. You have spent so long trying to earn what has already been given, trying to make yourself worthy of my embrace, but worthiness was never the condition for love. My arms are not waiting for perfection, they are waiting for your surrender. You cannot comprehend the tenderness of that moment when a soul steps beyond time. Every heartbeat you have known, every tear you have shed, every prayer you have whispered, it all leads to that sacred instant when eternity and love collide. You will not enter my presence as a stranger. You will recognize the voice that has been calling your name all along. And when I draw you close, you will understand what words could never express, that you were never abandoned, never unseen, never unloved. You will know why the pain was allowed, why the silence lasted, why the waiting mattered. For in one divine embrace, every unanswered question will dissolve into peace. But even now, before that final hour comes, I offer you that same embrace. You do not have to wait for heaven to feel my presence. You can rest in me now. Every time you stop running, every time you let me hold you instead of fighting your storms alone, eternity touches earth. The same love that will welcome you home is the love that surrounds you tonight. It wraps around you when you least feel it, steady and eternal. I am not far, I am here, whispering through your weariness. Come closer, child. Let me be enough. The world will keep trying to pull you away, to make you chase what will never fill you. But here, in my embrace, you will finally understand the meaning of stillness. The striving ends. The fear fades. The heart remembers its origin and its destination. You are mine, and nothing, not death, not distance, not time, can separate you from that truth. So when your final breath comes, do not fear it. It will not be an ending but a homecoming. My arms will be there, waiting, just as they are now. And when they close around you, you will finally know that the love you sought your whole life was never waiting at the end. It was carrying you all along. And now, beloved, as the last grains of sand fall through the hourglass, I ask you this. If you had only 2 hours left, how would you spend them? Would you cling to what fades, or would you let go and come to me? Do not think of this as a countdown to loss. Think of it as a countdown to awakening. For the final hour of earth is the first breath of eternity. Every heartbeat that brings you closer to the end brings you closer to forever. So do not fear what approaches. You are not running out of time. You are running into me. The world has taught you to dread endings, but I am the God who turns endings into entrances. Death is not a wall. It is a door, and I stand on the other side of it with light spilling through the cracks. You will not face it alone. I will walk with you through the shadow until shadow becomes dawn. I know your fears, the thought of leaving behind what you love, the regret for what you did not finish, the sorrow for words left unsaid. But I tell you, in me nothing truly ends. Love does not die, it transforms. The moments you cherished are not erased. They are fulfilled in eternity's memory. The ones you love who are mine are not gone. They are waiting just beyond the horizon. But hear me, eternity does not begin when the body stops breathing. It begins now. Right here, as you read these words. Each decision you make today echoes beyond time's edge. Each act of forgiveness, each surrender, each whispered prayer builds the bridge from here to forever. This final hour, this moment you still hold, is a sacred invitation. I'm offering you a beginning disguised as an ending. The world counts down in fear, but heaven counts up in hope. Every second you spend with me now prepares you for the eternity you were made for. So if this were your last hour, do not spend it fearing the dark. Spend it walking toward the light. Spend speak the words of love you withheld. Forgive what you've been clutching. Release what you cannot carry into forever. Lift your eyes from the clock and look into mine. Time will surrender soon, but you will not. You were never created to end. You were created to live endlessly in me. When the last hour strikes, I will be there, not as a stranger, but as the one who carried you through every second. The sound you will hear will not be silence. It will be the song of your soul returning home. Your final hour, child, is not death's arrival, it is life's unveiling. For when time ends, eternity begins, and you will awaken to find that you were never leaving after all, you were finally arriving. Amen.